Pastor Cheng Yen visits the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital and thanks the medical staff for their efforts in safeguarding all sentient beings' health. We learned of one Jordan Tzu Chi volunteer's story of how an orphan from Syria came to be her grandson. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee Shioda. Thank you for joining us. Returning from the Philippines, the superintendent of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, Jian Shouxin, recently spoke with the attendees at a volunteers' morning assembly about his experiences of serving at a free clinic in Davao City. This wasn't the first time he's visited the Philippines to help serve over the past 18 years. He's seen countless miracles in the Philippines and looks forward to more endless love and compassion for years to come.
The superintendent of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, Jian Shouxin, is sharing his experiences of serving at a free clinic in the Philippines.
Tzu Chi's
mission about bringing endless care to the medically deprived in the Philippines has never changed over the past years.
As many residents in the Philippines cannot afford to pay medical expenses, their small ailments always lead to major problems. Because this young man did not have extra money to seek medical assistance over the past 3 years, Dr. Jian did a surgery to remove his tumor, restoring a normal face for him.
After I did a surgery for a patient, he said thank you to me in Mandarin Chinese, but not English or his mother tongue. I was moved by this.
It was in the year of 1998 that Dr. Jian headed to the Philippines to offer free medical services for the first time. As Tzu Chi's free clinics have been continuously held locally over the 18 years, Dr. Jian sees a new hope for the patients.
We have witnessed miracles because many doctors' experiences have been passed on, and the quality of medical services has also improved over the past 10 years.
Though the medical team has to overcome the difficult task of utilizing the limited medical resources to help the medically deprived, their love and compassion for the needy will never die.
Next, we meet a case patient from Tima's free clinic in Davao. Benjamin, who suffered from cataracts, relied on his wife to get around, and both were unable to work. Fortunately, with the assistance of Tzu Chi, Benjamin has regained his eyesight. Now the couple can look for jobs and overcome their financial problems.
Tzu Chi volunteers have a difficult time crossing over this dilapidated house through a narrow aisle to get to Benjamin's house. This 3-square-meter house can only accommodate 5 or 6 people. Benjamin, who suffers from cataracts, lives with his wife in this narrow space.
He told us that when he regains his eyesight one day, he will ride his tricycle to earn some money to support his family. Though his life is difficult, he still has a hope in his mind. We feel very happy for him.
Though this couple live in a poor condition, they are always optimistic and have a contented mind. Their only hope is to restore Benjamin's eyesight. Team of doctors, as well as Tzu Chi's medical team from Taiwan and Malaysia, make their dream come true.
My husband no longer needs to rely on me since he has already regained his eyesight. Now I don't need to accompany him all the time. I can finally go to work.
Though Davao City is the 3rd most populous city in the Philippines, many low-income families don't have extra money to go to a dentist or seek medical assistance or buy medicine.
We have no money to buy medicine, so your medical assistance is a great help to us.
I feel moved because the medical team comes from different parts of the world and has spent much time helping us.
Patients who come from different nationalities and religious beliefs have been served with both Western and Chinese medicine treatments at this large-scale free clinic in Davao City of the Philippines, benefiting a total of 6,440 residents over the past 3 days.
In the Philippines, knowing full well the financial burden medical care places on the disadvantaged, Philippines Tima Chapter's free clinic in Davao City also offered dental services, as oral health is often ignored by the poor, causing cavities to worsen to the point of needing extractions or root canals. In just 2 days, 944 dental patients were served. Getting a tooth extraction for the first time scares this child, though this team of dentists doesn't give up and finally completes the treatment.
How's your feeling now?
Good, fulfilled.
Why?
Because we extracted one difficult patient.
Many of the patients were very thankful for Tzu Chi's free clinic as they have not had extra money to spend for dental care.
400 pesos, Philippine money. 400 pesos. Oh, one tooth only. So it's very expensive for us. Yes, we can buy 8 kilo rice of 400 pesos. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
以前付了，所以他要等有这种义诊，不用付钱，他所以来。
This large-scale free clinic in Davao was scheduled for 3 days only, with many of the local residents rushing to sign up for their services before the end of the outreach program. With an outpouring of patients, even the narrow hallways became a place to perform dental work.
The problem is we have lots of patients, especially youngsters, that needs root canal treatment, and since we cannot finish them, because we only have a very limited time, I made an arrangement with the Dean of Davao Medical Dental so that all these young children who need their molars to be treated, to be saved, so we're going to endorse it to Davao Medical Dental for proper treatment.
Ensuring everyone who came to the free clinic received proper oral health care, in just 2 days, this team of free clinic helped 944 patients with their dental needs. Master Cheng Yen recently made a visit to Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, where doctors and nurses shared their recent professional experiences and also their personal feelings towards caring for others. Let's hear what some of them had to say.
This team of medical professionals at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital are sharing their experiences treating patients with incurable and difficult-to-treat diseases. For patients suffering from autoimmune diseases, life can be especially painful. The doctors and nurses here discuss how best to make them comfortable. Dr. Chen Zhenghong describes his research tracking 700 patients suffering from xerosis, or extremely dry skin, in order to possibly trace the gene responsible.
The genetic origin of this problem is also the same gene responsible for alveolar bone necrosis, so it is useless for these patients to take medicines that would weaken their bones. This disease might result in the high risk of alveolar bone necrosis.
Like a troupe of bodhisattvas dressed in white, this group of nurses used hand gestures to express their compassion for patients. Some nurses also share their experiences caring for the suffering. The family-like support among nurses is a source of strength that keeps them all motivated.
For more than 4,000 days, we have been working together, forming bonds of compassion. We accept this as our responsibility to keep those bonds strong, to keep caring for others, and to ensure our compassion lasts to the next generation of nurses. I'm actually so grateful that I have been able to walk this path, sharing the same spirits with my colleagues. I feel like I'm a mother to my younger colleagues, and I'm very grateful to be there as a mentor for them.
After hearing the nurses express their feelings, Master Cheng Yen praised the nursing staff for their remarkable perseverance and their courageous hearts.
肠癌这个那么重大的腐烂呐，可以想象是多么臭啊！但是我们护理呢，面不改色，而且愿意承担，这都是呢，真是勇猛的狮子心哦。
These nurses are not only diligent and committed in their work because of their vows to the medical mission, but they are also motivated every day by a sense of compassion to help the suffering, and they are encouraged daily by their colleagues.
Being a nurse can be a difficult and emotionally stressful job. However, despite this, nurses at the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital face their jobs with dedication to provide the best and most loving care they can for patients. In happiness and sadness, Tzu Chi Hospital nurses will be there to comfort the patients under their care.
This is 6-year-old Xiao Ru. Due to acute osteomyelitis, she faces difficulty walking as well as trouble using the bathroom. Thanks to the special care and dedication of a team of nurses at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital Pediatrics Ward, Xiaoru's condition has been steadily improving.
小心，慢慢走，睡觉了。
When I began to see her as my own child, I just did small things for her, like prepare snacks and little gifts. Nothing big really, but those things still made her smile, and that really moved me a lot.
Recently, a 32-year-old man was brought to the ICU after a serious car accident caused him serious internal bleeding. When the patient was severely depressed and lost his will to live, the nurses made him cards to encourage him. Although he passed away, the nurses were there in his last moments to ensure he passed surrounded by love.
It was a feeling like losing a friend or a family member. I remember the last moment when I saw him. I held his hand and told him, "I'm here, even though you weren't my brother in this life. I hope in the next life you will be."
These nurses do all they can to share love and encouragement, even in the face of death and despair. They share tears of both happiness and sadness with their patients and are a driving force in Tzu Chi hospitals.
Some volunteers from Jordan were also in attendance at the Overseas Volunteers Training Camp in Taiwan. As you know, Syria and its neighbors are suffering from war and a refugee crisis. The small team of 6 volunteers in Jordan thus face a tremendous burden of helping as many suffering people as they can. Next, we'll meet one Jordan Tzu Chi volunteer, 71-year-old Lily, who shared her experience of saving a young war orphan named Amir.
No matter how hard he tries, this youngster just can't blow out his birthday candle. This is the first birthday for young Amir.
And then he starts saying, "Where's my gift? Where is my gift?" So he started, all the people, of course, who were invited, they'll bring for him.
This is baby Amir when he was just 2 hours old. The boy became an orphan when his mother injured herself trying to escape from Syria to Jordan and later died in a hospital. Since Lily's son-in-law and daughter were having trouble conceiving, the hospital where the son-in-law works called them to see if they wanted to adopt.
I kept telling my daughter, "Look at me, I'm your mom. I'm talking to you through my experience. Don't listen to any laws. You are saving a human being. He is only a baby."
Jordan volunteer Lily can't help but cry remembering the past. Legal obstacles and the attitudes towards adoption in Islamic culture made the situation especially difficult.
I was going through many attitudes, let us say. "Oh, this is the adopted child. So what? He is a human being. I'll stop them." You should have love in your heart.
As a Syrian child from a Christian family living in an Islamic country, there are many obstacles for Amir. But thankfully, love crosses all religious and ethnic boundaries, and there are compassionate forces out there trying to ease their suffering. As the war rages on, these souls in Jordan will continue to do all they can to help others.
We'll go through all the missions of Tzu Chi in our country. Although we are a small team, but we are one family. Small team with a huge work.
In a country of 6 million people, there are only 6 certified Tzu Chi volunteers in Jordan. Some of them took the opportunity to visit Taiwan to attend the volunteer training camp in order to carry even more love back to Jordan, to continue spreading love and compassion in a region that is suffering.
If our viewers remember, Xindian Jingsi Hall was among the venues where the first session of the Overseas Volunteers Training Camp took place. As that Jingsi Hall has just begun its operation, local Tzu Chi volunteers also prepared traditional tangyuans to share with the joy with the overseas volunteers.
To welcome overseas Tzu Chi volunteers in Xindian have been busy preparing snacks every day at the Xindian Jingsi Hall since October.
We must prepare over 1,000 desserts. It's the first time to make so many of them, but luckily our colleagues, students and so many volunteers are coming together to prepare them.
I'm in the vegetarian food business and I have free time today, so I can come and help make them with everyone.
Tzu Chi volunteers want to make overseas volunteers feel at home. So on this day, Close to 100 of them and masters from the Jinshi abode come together to prepare tangyuans.
We have a new Jinshi Hall in New Taipei City. As the master will come here someday, we came here to prepare tangyuans to officially open the Xingdian Jinshi Hall.
I had planned to share my thoughts, but here is a good chance to make tangyuans, so I joined them to prepare tangyuans. I hope our new home will have many new volunteers, so we can come together to do Tzu Chi's missions.
Each tiny round tangyuan symbolizes the joy of perfection. The volunteers thus want to share them with overseas volunteers.
15-year-old Xie Chengyu has been the sole caregiver for his father since he was 7 years old when his parents divorced. Despite his young age, Chengyu was forced to grow up quickly. In recognition of his filial nature and love towards his father, he has been selected as a New Shoot Scholarship recipient this year.
The volunteers arrive just as Xie Chengyu is giving his father his morning medicine. This young boy helping with his father's medicine is 15-year-old Xie Chengyu. His father has been suffering from throat cancer for the past 11 years. The condition has only worsened over time. And after his parents divorced when he was 7 years old, Chengyu had to learn how to care for his father.
When the father is in pain, he calls on Chengyu to help him with the medicine, so Chengyu could never really leave his father's side.
He will call me in the middle of the night sometimes, and I'd always get up to help him. I'd give him medicine so that he wouldn't be in such pain.
The father's care has all been dependent upon the eldest son. Besides attending class at school, Chengyu is always at home caring for his father.
Since he is always at home looking after things, he never had time to make any good friends, so he keeps 4 birds, which have become his companions.
Just like a bird stuck in a cage, Chengyu was always trapped in his home due to the burden of caring for his ill father. In his situation, he has been forced to mature very quickly and deal with the problems of his family situation.
I used to worry a lot. It was just me and my sister here, so we would worry.
While his father was hospitalized, Chengyu had to learn all about the different medicines and equipment so that he would be able to care for his father's condition. To ensure that the father and the family would be cared for, the government has provided some subsidies and benefits. Tzu Chi also pitched in to provide an electric bed. Seeing his father comfortable also brings happiness to Chengyu. In turn, this causes a feeling of heartache for the volunteers who have been there for the family.
He doesn't have any personal space for him to study in peace. I really feel sorry for the boy. He never had any choice in his family situation.
Busy studying and being a filial son for his father, Chengyu hasn't had much time to consider his future. Despite the boy's maturity at 15, his heart is often unsettled and in distress.
Sometimes when I am stressed and my heart is heavy, I might be unkind to you, Dad. I'm sorry if I ever raised my voice.
I don't think that way. I just want you to take care of yourself. Look after your own health for your own sake. Not for me. Do that and I'll be happy.
As long as he has his father's support and love, Chengyu will be strong and stay positive in facing his own future.
When the strongest storm of the year, Typhoon Meranti, hit Kaohsiung Harbor, 10 merchant ships broke away from their harbor moorings and were sent adrift. Meranti was the worst storm since 1977 after Typhoon Thelma, with level 17 gale force winds hitting the area. Due to these disasters, we'll take the audience to explore the resilience of Kaohsiung Harbor over the years.
Typhoon Meranti's level 17 winds led Taiwan's largest container vessel, the 140,000-ton YM Wind, to break its mooring at CSBC's number 2 pier, going adrift and crashing into 4 bridge cranes at the number 6 container center.
In the case of CSBC Corporation Taiwan, They used 38 cables to secure it, couldn't withstand the wind gust, which broke the cables, and it drifted into our Gaoming container terminal.
On September 14th, from 12:32 to 1:30, a level 17 wind gust occurred, causing 10 boats to lose their mooring with broken cables.
Weighing more than 240,000 tons, this container crane suffered heavy damage as the wind blew it back and forth, leading to damages in excess of $31.8 million. The heavy losses by Kaohsiung Harbor led Premier Lin Chuan to visit the south, with some believing the damage is not just due to the typhoon but also negligence.
Go and look at the other ships in the harbor. If there's someone on board, they can use the ship's winch to tighten the cables. If it's loose, you simply tighten it.
It was being constructed and still in the dock, as it was tied from the outside with 38 cables, as each one couldn't resist the force, as each one was snapped and broken.
Scholars and senior pilots say that CSBC Corporation Taiwan didn't send people to stay on board and use the anchor chain and didn't have any consultation with the Port Authority for tugboat support, which could have been the main cause of this brewing disaster. And this isn't the first encounter with a typhoon in Taiwan. In 2000, Typhoon Sangsein led a CSBC Geelong cargo ship to break its cables, causing damage to 4 Navy patrol ships, 3 Coast Guard patrol boats, Haiyang cargo ship, and 1 bridge crane. Results of an investigation found no sailors aboard the ship, not enough ballast water, failure to restore power, and the anchor chain is not fixed. The payment of $1.9 million was ordered to the Navy. Few expected that 16 years later another CSB Corporation Taiwan ship would also get loose during a typhoon.
This shipyard never made such a large container ship and didn't consider the mathematical consequences of such a weather change could have. They never expected to encounter such a situation, as they would have to actually refer to other parts of the world for this.
We need to thank the number 6 container processing area for trapping the container ship while in wind. Otherwise, it would travel all the way to second pier, which is entrance, and could have sealed off the whole Kaohsiung Harbor.
Experts believe that the harbor authorities' quick action to prevent this container ship from inflicting further damage in the harbor, just crashing into an opposite pier, though this impacted 4 bridge cranes, leading 3 to be ruined and 1 badly damaged, resulting in losses of more than $31.8 million. This damage took more than a year to repair and seriously affected the harbor's ability to handle large container ships.
Tzu Chi volunteers shared delicious vegetarian cuisines made from Tzu Chi's Jingsi products with the students from Hualien Tzu Chi University and asked them to adopt a bamboo coin bag to help patients recover from the recent flooding. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.